going live. What's up? What's up? What's
Fix your mic for that.
fix my mic? Why is it looking weird?
Fix your mic. Yeah.
Fix my mic. Why is it looking weird? Fix your mic. Too much.
Yes.
What is it? Hold on a second. I know what the problem is. Do I sound better now?
A little bit.
I
Yep.
I should sound a lot better now.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
do.
sound a lot better.
All
You
right.
sound like the square knot we know.
Cool
Right.
beans. All right. What's up, everybody? All right, let's get it. Here we go. What's up, y'all? This is your man, DJ Square Knot from the DJ Information Group, and this is our talk show. And what we do is we come through here and we just talk about the DJ groups. We talk about the culture, we talk about history, we talk about equipment, we talk about music. Whatever is on our mind pertaining to our deal, that's what you're going to hear. So at this point, we got a DJ panel, of course, that's here with us, and we're just going to have a good time talking out. I want you guys to join us. And if you have questions, don't hesitate because we want to hear from you. So here we go. And we're going to have the DJs introduce themselves and enjoy. It's just a simple conversation. That's what it is. Take it out. Yes, 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 yes. Woo-hoo! What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? We got we got some peeps in
Hello.
here. We got DJ Big Body, aka BB, is in the house. DJ I95 in the house. We got DJ Lisa Love in the house. What up? What up? What up? So, we've had some interesting days, y'all. Some very, very interesting days. And some of the topics that have come up have been truly amazing. Everything from we tapped in again last week where we were talking about participation to music and everything, but now that music thing has really tied more into the whole thing about Facebook and what's to come October 1st. And DJ I95 was like, hey man, I think we really need to talk about that on the talk show and kind of expound on that a little bit more. So without further ado, I'm gonna have him bring in the topic and to get us going, and then we're just gonna talk about it and get your opinions and see what happens there. What up, DJ I95? Tell people who you are, where you're from, and we'll go from there.
My name is DJ I95, originally from New York, but I moved to Connecticut. The talk today is going to be about how Facebook is cutting lives starting October 1st, no matter if you're a DJ or anybody, but since this is the DJ Information Group, we're going to talk about DJs. Lisa Love is up here. She's busy right now, but she made a valid point about it last night about how the record pool should be tied in with Facebook Lives so we can play the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lisa Love, she brought a very good point about that. And and I tell you, I wish we could do something like that because that would solve the problem. That would solve two things. First off, the DJ is verified as a paying customer. And number two, we won't have to go round and round with these situations of where we are playing, get cut off, going back on, getting cut off, going back on, et cetera, et cetera. It's like a vicious cycle. And it just definitely, after a while, it can definitely wear on you. You know what I mean? Um, and as we are trying our best to do what we do, and that is basically to expose people to music, you know, we as DJs, I keep saying it over and over and over because I am a customer to it. I am a consumer to it. And that is, we as DJs are therapists, and we provide music. We provide a service that is designed to help people to um, put people in different moods.
On
Hope.
the other side to that, I definitely understand what they're doing. I understand that because think about it this way. You're an artist and on the radio, your music is being played on the radio. You're gonna receive royalties from that airtime.
Mhm.
On Facebook, you're not going to receive any of the royalties. And you look on Facebook and the DJ that is playing your music, you know, look to the left or look to the right, they have their cash app up. So it's
Mm.
like you're not getting paid for your royalties for them playing the music, but they are getting paid to play your music. How would you feel as the artist if you saw that happening?
Um, I get your point there, and I would definitely feel some way about that. But that's where there should be protocols put in place. Um, you know, the basic point that I'm trying to make is that we are the DJs. We're the ones that's providing this particular work or service that we're hoping will bring something to someone that will then entice them to make a purchase. Like, for example, I can't tell you the number of times, and this is no exaggeration, where I've played music online on Facebook, and people will inbox me and go, "Hey, Square Knot, what's the name of that song? Or where did you get that song?" And I'll tell them, and I'll send them a link, an Amazon link directly to that song, and they'll be like, "Cool, I just got it." So I just helped that artist make, probably 7 cent, but they purchased the track. Now, of course, when you see the DJs, they're playing the music and they got the cash apps up and stuff like that. That's a catch 22 in itself, because the DJ is just trying to do what he can do as if he was doing a live show and getting paid, but at the same time, totally understand the fact that the artist is not getting paid. So there definitely has to be a balance there. Definitely has to be a balance. So I'm on both sides. I don't, I'm not showing a bias to either side on that, but this thing that Lisa Love brought up, where if we are playing music and we can be verified that we are actually um, able to be verified and show that we are actually paying for the licenses and everything, then that kind of beats, gets two birds with one stone kind of situation, because the artist is getting paid and we don't have to worry about the whole kickback again as what we've been getting. Now, that's where mutant, like, for example, services like Mixcloud Live has really come in. Mixcloud Live has said, you know what, this is what we're going to do, DJs. We're going to allow you to play the music, but you got to pay a monthly subscription. And the monthly subscription for what you're doing is minimal for what I feel is the service that you want to provide to people. So it kind of connects the two. The only thing.
Absolutely, because Facebook has been sued before by BMI and Sony. They've already been hit with a lawsuit before they started meeting and blocking the music. So if you personally were sued before and had to come out of pocket for situations like that before, would you want to put yourself in that situation again?
Man, they got the money, man. Let them go head on. No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing. I'm just messing. They got all that money they can pay it. No, I'm just messing. I understand where you're coming from that, but that's why I think Mixcloud Live definitely is going to really start to excel on that front because
And I
Facebook had
think
mentioned something about a paid service at one time, but I have not seen any more since I received that notification from them.
And I think
Um,
since McCloud and SoundCloud, they are actually music based platforms. Facebook was not
mhm.
designed for that, so I think it would be better
Hey.
to. I think
Hello,
it would be
Carlos.
better.
Oh, my bad. My dog acting stupid.
That's all right. That's all right.
I
It's
think
Go
all
it
ahead.
good.
would be better for McCloud and SoundCloud to pick it up since it is a music based platform and not Facebook.
Man, if I didn't know no better, BB, I'd say you working for Facebook. You working for Facebook?
Hmm. Hmm. Let me find out. You
You
always
know,
in the office too.
now I'm just putting my nickels worth of sense to it.
Oh yeah, hey hey what you're saying is totally 100% right. What's up, Carlos? Yes, indeed. Please feel free to inject. Yes, so but yeah, I know Facebook platform was more designed around just a communication platform of connecting people, from all around the world and everything. And it just happened to be as it started advancing in features that, some people found way, especially when the live came out, people was like, hey, I can talk on that, but shoot, I should be able to play some music on that, so it's the same thing. And that then, hey, that was born, so just one of those things. But we are in a time where it's and how long Facebook is right now has been around what 15 years 15 16 years now
About
um
that.
15 16 years, so it's time for something new to pop out there to kind of shake up the industry or shake up these, I won't say the industry, but that arena of social media. And something that will work in the favor of the artist as well as the guys, the people that, not guys, but the people that present the music to the public, and a lot of times that is the DJs. um and like I say, there's a real thin line there with it, but I think the combination of the two will definitely work very well. Mixcloud Lives, I know I haven't really checked into SoundCloud's situation very much, but I am very familiar with the whole Mixcloud Live piece, and they are constantly working to make that platform better. Right now there's no recording, but soon enough there will be recordings. But there are also other alternatives to that situation there alone, so it's not like a huge biggie for DJs. So um but yeah, the whole thing that Lisa brought up, that just really sparked a really a live conversation last night, about, just imagine if we could have a service like that when you typed and when you went through this portal, you typed in your name, DJ Square Nod, DJ College 410, you know, and it comes up and say, oh, well, it shows that you're part of this DJ pool, this DJ pool, this DJ pool, and this DJ pool. Hey, you're paying like $80 a month. So, you have access, you have this access. So when it comes to playing your music or whatever, we'll know not to flag you to shut you down. You know, that would be like totally awesome. And maybe someone will come up that with that now that we're putting it out in the air and probably make millions off of it, which will be pissed. So, but other than that, that'll be that. You got any thoughts on that, Carlos?
Yeah, I think the main thing was, like you said, you can log in using Facebook for a lot of things now, and used to be just Google, then it was Facebook, now Apple getting in there where you can use their um, information to log into sites, so you don't have to create new accounts. And Facebook very easily could just use that that app pass through to verify you're in these record pools and not have to worry about all the licensing. Unless there's something, I mean, the technology has well outpaced the laws, and that's why we have a lot of these, crazy laws when it comes to copyright. So just in general, if it's not something you created yourself, pretty much it's going to get taken down, and that's just the nature of the beast as it is right now. And until somebody relevant steps up and says it needs to change, it's just not going to change, unfortunately.
That is a fact. That is a fact. DJ Michael, you got anything? I guess he's a little tied up. Any other DJs? I-95, what you thinking?
What I'm thinking is, if we can't do it that way, why can't the DJ softwares do it? I mean, we all know virtual DJ. They have their own little virtual radio station, sort of. Why can't Serato or Record Box or Engine Prime? Why can't they do that? So people can listen in at least.
That's a good question, man. What would that look like if you powered on the set? What do you think that would look like?
I tried it back in the days on virtual. I forgot how it looked. I really do. I really forgot how it looked. I mean, there really should be radio stations for these DJ programs, at least. I know that would sort of kill the radio, but that would be a good look for DJs that are trying to, cope with COVID-19. Since Facebook is almost done, Twitch, they're flagging left and right. YouTube, sort of getting away with it. I think that would be a kind of dope idea with the DJ software.
Yeah, that would definitely be tight. That's for sure. It's just a matter of adding something in that people would find intuitive, and just really getting into a zone to where that application could send out the reach out to all those different places that you want to access, or even have like a connector in there that says, okay, we're going to connect into Zoom, we're going to connect into Facebook, we're going to connect into this. Now the flip side of me, and I think Carlos will agree with me on this, is that as technology guys, it sounds good, but then there's this acronym called AI that once we give a system that much information, there's an opportunity for someone else to learn something else about us and gain access to some of the stuff that we access, which then becomes like we see just now with cookies. Every time you go and visit something and then you go to Facebook or somewhere, there's a cookie that displays something of what you just looked at 30 seconds ago. So now just imagine if you had AI that was tapping into every time you logged in, and it was able to capture your the methods you logged in, and possibly even some type of encryption that could, or decryption process that could see your passwords, or the type of music that you're playing. And let's talk about music for a minute. For a lot of us, like me, I purchase a lot of my music, man. Oh my God, I purchase a lot of my music, but then I get a lot of music from friends. We do swaps and things like that. But that's just the DJ's culture to do that. That's what we do. But it balances out because somebody's purchased and we purchase, and go from there. But what happens if you get a system that says, okay, all of a sudden, hey, now we're going to verify every song? And there's actually something out there like that right now, because I remember when I got my iDJ Pro and I set up my iPad, and with my iPad, I had set up to play that evening. And that was my first time. I figured I'm gonna just throw it on and just play. And I started playing and noticed that my iPad, over half my music that I had coming through iTunes, it was disabled. And it was disabled because it wasn't running through the system, and they had not recognized those particular ones as MP3s. So it just really, really caught me off guard. So I was like, wow. But just something to think about. But you guys have a conversation real quick, and I'll be right back. I just hear my wife calling me, so I'll be right back.
I think we're gonna have to go back to making CDs and mixtapes, man. We got to go back to the basics.
You're right. But what do you think about like I said with the whole DJ program doing something like that? Like I said, what is it? Virtue is doing it. Virtue's been doing it for years with their
That's
own
a good
little.
idea. That's a great idea.
I get where Square is coming from with that, with the IO or whatever it is. I get that.
AI.
Yeah, AI. I get it. But it's getting redundant now, like, because everywhere you go, we try to put up a mix
So you're
as
paying for
DJ.
this? Yeah. With your signature right there.
As DJs, we're trying to, put our talent out there because of what's going on, and we're getting shut down every which way. Courtney, you got anything to say about that?
I just don't understand it, man, because I mean, we paying for the music, but I guess the record labels just want more money.
And from my understanding, a lot of these record pools, I don't know how true it is, but a lot of these record pools is getting it for free, which I don't get. If you're getting it for free and you're charging us,
Right.
They gotta pay for like I know for what's going on, guys, by the way.
What up, Swerve?
Like franchise, I thought the same thing, but I was told that it's some kind of money transaction that has to be with them as well for them to get what they get. And like franchise, like most of the record pools, they deal with the parents of it all, like Sony, Time Warner, Universal, which those mothers under those is where all the other companies fall under. So they did with those things and has a contract agreement with that, and they get the music like how they get it. So trust me, it ain't all free. Nothing in America, damn man.
Oh yeah. I just don't get it. Like Facebook, like, oh my God, like where are we gonna go? Mixcloud? Like I get it, Mixcloud is doing their things, but just trying to copy that link and put it on your Facebook is like time consuming. It's not actually showing the video on Facebook, but you put a link up there. It's time consuming while you're DJing. They should have it where as though it's a share button and you could share it on different platforms like YouTube or Instagram, even Snapchat. I don't know.
It's so hard to get your people, your friends to follow you though. You know what I'm saying? I like you breaking their neck just to follow us and listen to us.
No, we can't.
They don't want to get another app.
Well, then, that's where you say, are they truly your fans? Because I guess wherever Jazzy Jeff go, Kid Capri, they got names, but people, if they want to see them, they'll follow them. So, I know I understand everybody's not tech savvy. They don't want to do that. So, and a lot of DJs want to play it safe and be on things that where the most people are because they want to get the most numbers there. But sometimes you got to step out of that comfort zone because people get a lot of people DJs get comfortable with where they at, and to do new things and try new other things, they scared to do that. I'm sure you should be all about elevation. and elevating your skills and your talents and getting new fans. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? It's great to have the fans that you have, but it's also great to get new people too. It's even better. But those could be a potential future customers.
But it's people are so tied to Facebook. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna move. Or even if they do come somewhere on another site, they only gonna stay there a few minutes. I mean, that's just the way it is.
And to be honest with you, Facebook own all of us that's a part of Facebook. They own us.
What you mean?
You don't know when you sign up with Facebook, you read all that content, all that information. I bet you none of us do. All the pictures we post, videos we post, they're the owners of that. They keep that. The moment you sign up to Facebook, there's some terms that you have to read that a lot of us don't read, all of that stuff. But they own all our pictures, all our videos, everything. So we don't really own nothing by being on Facebook. They the multi-billionaire company.
Yeah, they just made everything public. That's all they did. That's in their terms. Anything you post is gonna be public.
Yep. So they could take it and use it for what will they want.
Right. You're exactly right.
If they wanted to, but they're not doing that. But they just making they crossing their T's and dotting their I's. So definitely, a lot of people do let's be real, a lot of incriminating stuff online. So that's why they do that stuff. And I'm sure a lot of people got caught, doing the foolishness out and on public, on social medias, and very stupid of them. But that's when, the higher beings can use that in court against you.
So what you think is going to be the next trend?
I mean, we just got to find a way. That's all. Just like we got slapped in the face with what we're dealing with right now in 2020. And now is a new way of living. We just got to think different and live different. We can't get comfortable. When people get too comfortable with things, man, that's when things start falling by the wayside. You just got to be on top of it. Trust me, there's new, right now, Mixcloud is trying to do what they do. There will be more that's going to follow suit once they get these contracts or whatever they're trying to deal with these regulate companies and stuff like that. They'll find a way. You know what I'm saying? We're not going nowhere. We just gotta stay strong, stay positive, and keep on pushing. And stay one as a unit. We ain't like we phasing up. We gonna phase each other out. And ain't gonna be no more DJs no more. No, that's not the case. We just gotta find another way. That's all. We just gotta find another way.
Do you think Zoom is going to try to do something as far as we're concerned?
Who knows? Possibly, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? Listen, these multi-billion-dollar companies, we're pennies to them. We're pennies to them.
Sure.
We're pennies to them. You know what I'm saying? So we could cry, kick our feet, stomp, punch all we want.
What up, Joe?
What's up, people?
What up? So we just gotta band together and make things do. And if we have to go on another platform, guess what? We just gotta move like the birds fly in the sky. When they want to go south, northwest, they all as one move together. There's not one stray off from the pack.
Well, one thing I want to go back to is the technology the laws not keeping up with technology, because if you go all the way back to file sharing days, nobody knew what to do with that at first, and the RIAA said, you know what, you're sharing it locally within, it was in that college that they were sharing it all on that network, and they was like, okay, well, it's just file sharing, so it's not that big a deal. It was when it opened up to the internet that they started freaking out because they were losing revenue. They knew that people would download it and they would share it, and then they weren't buying anything. And that's why it was a huge push to make examples out of people that weren't buying their music. And eventually it went away, for the most part. But, we started popping up with these streaming services, and now instead of getting album sales for a platinum record, you get 1 million streams as a platinum. And when technology keeps going leaps and bounds, ahead of the laws, and nobody's really fighting for these laws to catch up, you're always going to deal with the fact that if you didn't create the content, somebody wants their money. And these companies that are giving you these free products, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, even Zoom, if somebody sees that you are using their intellectual property, they can submit one of those what is it, DCMA, DMCA strike against you. And if they wanted to take it that far, they could take you to court and get their money. And the fines are way higher than the cost of a download. And that's why for us DJs, the BMI and ASCAP, and they are the ones that are licensing these venues. So publishers and all of these content creators, they're not worried about us. They're worried about going after these venues because they got money. They could chase down every DJ, every single day if they wanted to, but it's not going to get them anywhere. They know that we're putting the music out there. They know that we're, keeping, what's hot in the clubs and in the bars and all these private events, because this is what people want to hear. And aside from Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, they want to hear music somewhere. So it's just a matter of the fact that the law hasn't caught up to the technology, and unless there's a big push from somebody relevant, it's not going to change. You're always going to have to deal with takedown notices, getting blocked for a couple days. It's just the nature of the beast until platforms like Facebook and SoundCloud, they want to work with the record labels and with the ASCAP and BMI, and just say, look, we're going to go ahead and license whatever the cost is. That way, people can play music on our platform. And considering the amount of money it would cost to cover every person that wants to stream a song or play a song and not have it taken down, there's no money in it for them. So,
well, it could be. They could start just like Mixcloud. They start charging people. So if people want to, Facebook could create something, Facebook Music or whatever, and start charging, I don't know, $15 or $20 a month, and that way it could kind of pay for something of what they giving the higher ups, and some way somehow, because basically that's what Mixcloud doing. You pay a fee every month, and you do that, so that kind of takes care of somewhat of the bill. It's still small right now. They're still in beta stage, but later on it could probably pan off very well. And they also allow the DJs to make money on that end too. If you got a nice good following, you can throw up your Cash App, or whatever, and start making a couple $5 here, $10 here, whatever the case on your end, and then that could pay for your bill that you're feeding them every month. So it's all one circus, you know what I'm saying? It's a revolving door of it's all about money. It's all about money. Like you said, and I said, the DJs is pennies to them. It's pennies, You're not really thinking about what we're doing. It's the ones that really don't know, the ones that's crying about, oh, they should do this, do that. Man, a lot of us ain't even seen $1 billion all at once. We're dealing with millions and billions of dollars. It's bigger than us.
Well, I will say this too. Going back to you're 100% right about all of that, Swerve. But also on going back to the Zoom thing, Flash actually sat in on a webinar by Zoom, and they were mentioning something about us playing music through their platform and how they are analyzing that right now to determine how to tackle that.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, it's going to get to where, all these Zoom parties and everything that everyone is scheduling, that's going to become a thing of the past. So it's going to become more and more difficult for us unless they come out with some option similar to Mixcloud, where they say, okay, if it'll say, like, for example, what type of Zoom is this? If it's just a regular meeting or whatever, no problem. But if it's going to be like a party or something there may be an option for that. And then once you do that, they'll say, okay, here's the fee for this. you know, and that'll become the type of account that you're set up on, or it'll be an add-on to your current account. So I could foresee something like that coming down the pike.
To make money from that too. I mean,
oh yeah, they're gonna make their money. They're gonna make their money.
They're gonna make their money, but we can make our money too because
Yeah.
we charge for parties of being in person, right? So if it's a virtual thing, let's just say what you say, and I foresee that, and basically that's what me and Los something, I'm call you Los for short, but that's basically what we were saying. If they was, let's say they plan for that extra plan was just say, I'm gonna say $30. Just say $30 a month. So somebody want a 2-hour Zoom party, and we be like, all right, so you know, let's say we charge, I'm gonna just say $200, you know, $100 an hour. So out of that, you know, that will kind of pay for that party, and we could probably in tips, we can make extra for tips. Yo, if anybody wanna, you know, $1 here, $5 here, blah blah, and bam, that particular joint is paid for within itself. So I see everything on an up and up.
Yeah, most definitely.
See nothing as I'm a thinker, so I'm like, okay, they doing this because they have their board meetings, just like how we have our weekly meetings and we meet amongst ourselves. We got to be thinkers. You got to think ahead of what's going on now. Like our minds got to be in 2021, damn near in 2022. You know,
but the difference is we're already paying for Zoom.
Yeah,
we're not paying for Facebook.
Yeah, well, they do have their they do have another thing where you have to pay for. I believe.
Well, they were talking about this whole thing about designing an area where it would be pay for play kind of for artists, but nothing has really come of that yet, or at least I've not seen a new email on that yet.
It's coming,
but I'm quite sure it will come because when Facebook starts to realize that a lot more DJs will shift, especially with this stuff after October 1st, they start shifting to other platforms, because what's going to happen, especially the DJs that have huge followings, for every time that DJ posts his link in his personal DJ page and they leave Facebook to go somewhere else, that is potential lost revenue that Facebook is not trying to have. So they're going to come up with some system to where they can keep that person on Facebook, keep those people that would be going out to visit the DJ on Mixcloud Live, for example, keep them there so that they can, you know, continue to get hit with ads and all that kind of stuff. So all of that's coming. And with Zoom, sure, I paid $150 a year. I paid up front. So I paid $150 a year. And then I could see them tacking on another, you know, $15 to $30 a year or a month, however that turns out to be. I'm not quite sure yet, if you're going to be one of those to where you want to play music. But the caveat to that is that will work because so many people have done Zoom parties where they say, okay, I got the pro account. We all know that the pro account has a maximum of 100 seats. So at 100 seats, you got your DJ, maybe let's say you got a crew of 10. So that means you got 90 seats that are open. If you can market that correctly and promote that correctly, your Zoom party correctly, and even if you charge $5 at the door, that's $450 that you'll make. So you'll make more than enough money to pay for whatever that service is, plus be able to do something. So I could see that happening. And with Zooms, now they have enhanced their audio even more. So, it's kind of becoming that platform where it makes sense, for a DJ to do what they do, so we'll see what happens. But I think as Facebook continues to do the stuff that they do, you're going to find a lot more people venturing out to other platforms for their entertainment piece. And then it's going to be strictly, small communications here and there with it, because I can't tell you the number of people that I already hear they say, I'm sick of Facebook. And these aren't even people that are DJs or anything. They just say it's getting boring. And every time we get used to something or we set up something, Facebook comes, throws some wrench in the program and changes something, you know? So, and, you know, people aren't as accepting of change, you know, just like every so often. It's kind of like with an Apple product. It seems like since Steve Jobs has been gone, Apple products have been changing left and right. You know, they don't even have time to breathe no more. You know, so it's just one of those things. And of course, that was a punch at you, Apple guys.
Hey, leave us alone. Leave us alone. Leave
Word.
us alone.
Hey, I have a Mac, so I ain't gonna do it. But the iPhone, the iPhone guys.
Samsung ain't coming out like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
What you
one
got,
thing
Carlos?
I got an iPhone, iPad, MacBook. You know, it's Apple life around here.
Gang.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Yeah, all right.
um,
Somebody gonna have to show me physically what's gonna make me want to give up my laptop. Until I see that, screw that.
I mean, all these
2012.
laptops got the same guts anymore. They're all i7, i9. They all got the same memory, the same hard drive. So it don't make no difference anymore. Whatever works for you, use it. That's what I say.
Yeah. I just like to mess with you guys when it comes to those iPhones. But yeah, so let me see. Lisa Love, I think she said she was just listening. I
She's
don't know.
busy.
Chime
Yeah,
in.
she's busy.
Yeah, she's still doing her training. She can't talk.
And then BB, she's doing her thing at work. But yeah, this is definitely one of the more interesting conversations, especially as it relates to the turns and what we foresee happening, and then also what is already in line to come. We just have to set our minds and be really, really set and prepare, because
It still got me
it's going to be a headache for a minute, that's for sure. We already know that, but of course we'll get through whatever it is. So but it would be great to have a system that would, you log in and it would verify you and say, okay, you're part of these DJ pools. Because right now I'm part of 2 public DJ pools, plus, you know, of course we got Rod Flashes too. But I'm part of 2, BPM Supreme and Eighth Wonder is what I'm part of. And I was part of the my MP3 pool. BPM Supreme and that one, we're so close, but I'd just like to lay out a little bit better on BPM Supreme. So I was like, I don't need to be paying $60 when I could pay $40 and get pretty much the same deal. Actually, I'm not even paying $40. I'm actually I paid $99 for the year for Eighth Wonder. So you know, that's pretty much it there. So we have any other, what do you got, Carlos? I see you was getting ready to say something.
Yeah, I was looking through the terms of service for Zoom, for Mixcloud, trying to find something in Facebook, but Facebook goes on forever and it's all legal jargon. The one main thing that you got to keep in mind in any platform that you're going to stream and it doesn't get taken down, there is in their terms of service, which basically takes all the liability off of their platform and puts it on you. If somebody submits a copyright claim, let's say right now I'm talking, somebody records what I'm about to say, and then they post it on their Mixcloud, all I got to do is fill out a quick form and I can basically get your content taken down. And it's not just that section muted, it's that upload. And that's something that you got to think about. Even though these artists are not starving, they're getting plenty of money and their publishing companies are steady, you know, up in their bank accounts with all these streams. There's always a possibility that no matter what, unless you created that content, they can come after you and at the very least, take down your upload. So with everything, with all the ideas and the ways to work around, Zoom parties. You want to use Mixcloud and keep uploading your mixes and quick mix and change the pitch. That's great. These are all great ways to keep your content up there and keep things fresh. But no matter what, all it's going to take is one pissed off publisher or record label to say, you know what, I'm pulling out of ASCAP or BMI, and the only way you can get my content is through us. And then it's going to be a mass exodus of all the content that's out there on whatever platform it was. Because over in the UK, it's especially strict because you have to have a license for specifically having music. And if your license isn't up to date and somebody pulls you up and wants to verify it, you get a fine. If you want karaoke, you can't go out and download the whole catalog of past karaoke, and there's specific artists that specifically will not allow you to play their content. Like Adele, that was a huge one. It was all over a lot of the British websites about Adele pulling her entire catalog from karaoke because she didn't want nobody singing her music. People like Taylor Swift, all these artists that are out here making millions of dollars, they want their money and they know that they can get more of it if you go straight to them for it. And one of the older artists to pull their music from streaming sites, and you'd have to buy the albums before streaming even got big, was like Garth Brooks. You have to go through his publishing company to get his music. So if you know somebody playing like some Garth Brooks, you pretty much know that if they didn't buy it, they are playing it from somebody else's hard drive that they copied, streaming it from YouTube and copied, from YouTube. Um, like when Prince died, his catalog was only on Tidal. They stripped YouTube down.
Wow.
You couldn't find it anywhere on YouTube just to
Yeah.
play it. And Tidal, I mean, they're the, I guess, third or fourth in the list of all the streaming services out there. So they want their money, being exclusive for Beyonce and for Kanye when their albums drop, Jay-Z's new albums whenever they dropped. They were forcing people to subscribe to Tidal by having these artists that they knew people would pay for.
Yeah.
So when it comes to licensing, one way or another, they're going to come back around and they're going to block it. You just got to be creative with it in the meantime. Don't get frustrated with it, and understand that there's going to be people out there that they just, they get around the rules somehow, and they can stream for 5 hours straight and not get taken down.
Yeah. I've made up in my mind that I'm not gonna get frustrated with it. What I do is I just log back on. I smile and I log back on. It's just like when I do my radio show. You know, we have all where we pay the license for the radio show, but not for the Facebook side. So and I'm just like, okay, I'm just logging on because that's purely for the people that are watching the show on Facebook that I do that. And when I get dropped off, I just come back on because there's not one stream out there that's 100%. Now, of course, some of the bigger names like D Nice that, he was able to hang out for a little while. Jazzy Jeff initially was able to hang out for a little while, and then they started kicking him off.
Serious?
So, yeah. So, it's just one of those things where you just have to count on your head. You know what? I know I'm playing this and I'm doing this purely for the love of what I do. And I cannot guarantee that this post is going to be here tomorrow or even 5 minutes after I do. And if it is there, when I replay it, some of it I might not be able to hear some of it because some of it is probably be muted. It is what it is.
But see now Jazzy Jeff, once he come on, he give everybody the link to his website where he's streaming from too. So he uses Facebook to get everybody, and then his website, you ain't gonna get cut off on your own website.
What I don't get, with that being said, I don't get how Scratch Bastard get away with stuff, to be honest. Because Scratch Bastard is another one.
Though. He got so many sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said. If your name is behind it, they will let you go. And it's like I don't know, like Pioneer and Newmark, the DJ companies that are putting out the hardware, they're not really doing as much. But when these companies are seeing these names out here of popular DJs that are drawing attention to their product, to their music, they'll let them slide. and then you never know. You can go back and then their streams are gone once they've already gotten all of their revenue and their hits.
Yeah.
Because everything's money, everything's advertising, and they know they do their monthly SEO optimization to see how much traffic's coming in and from where, and if it's all coming from that specific DJ, they'll let it ride for a little bit until the money stop, and then they'll
Mhm.
drop it.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's the way that works, man.
It's all money.
It's all about the Lucchini. So
You the wrong person making too much money, somebody will come for it. So
yes, indeed. So I think we need to get some sponsors, y'all.
Yeah, for real.
Y'all are already working on that. You and
Yeah,
and-
me and Flash, several of us
y'all
are
working on
working on it. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube actually, switched it up, because they went from just allowing content to blocking content to now they show you what content is not open source, but you can royalty free. They show you content that you'll split the ad revenue. So if rather than getting a copyright strike, you'll just get a warning. So they put a lot of thought into all the content that they allow and how they're at least getting some of the money back to the publisher. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep building off of that. I mean, the only thing that kind of sidetracked that was a lot of the privacy laws for all of Europe that's now spread into the rest of the world. So their latest update as of the end of 2019 was more focused on data privacy, and then next was privacy for children. So every time you look at YouTube, they're constantly adjusting the terms of service, their protection for anybody under 18, for content creators to be able to at least express their cover art of somebody else's product and get paid for it, but still give some of that publishing right back to the original content creator. So it's like YouTube might be the next place where you might be able to go live on YouTube, and they'd have all these licenses worked out with BMI and ASCAP. But at the same time, if they're not, you got to be careful what you're posting on there, because they will quickly, take all of
they'll
your
block
ad revenue away.
Yeah,
Hold on, so
and I've
I got a
posted some
question.
stuff, and YouTube has said you can post this, but you can't monetize on it. And and I'm like, okay, and I'm at that point, I'm like, hey, I'm cool. I'll let you. I'll post. That's all I want to do is post it. You guys can monetize on it all you want. So
I got a couple that
so I
are
got a
split
question.
advertising. I got to find it. Yeah, what's up?
Now with that being said, with YouTube, I turned around and posted a Biggie mix like 2 days after a day after his birthday, and they literally went down the playlist. Like, they posted it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but when they do that, is it possible that it's open to the public, or is it just for me? Because they literally went song by song on YouTube.
say that one more time now.
I posted a Biggie mix around his birthday, and YouTube turned around and put the whole playlist of what I played up. Now, is that open to the public, or is it just open to me?
As long as they didn't block it and you marked it as public, it's public. You just can't. You probably can't monetize off of it.
Okay,
But
I don't care about that.
But it's
don't care.
probably still up there. It's probably public.
All right.
So
yeah.
because you control that during your creation, and by default, it's marked as public.
Right.
So as long as you didn't go change that, you should be good. And then if they felt that there was something in it that needed to be blocked, they would have done that already. But if they didn't, then you're good to go. But you can log into your channel, and when you go to your videos, you can see right there on your list of videos what's been processed and what has been blocked. And if you got a green eye, then that means it's public. It's good.
So
like right now, I just pulled up one of my videos from garter removal during a wedding, and one of the 3 songs that I played was identified, and it says impact on the video, sharing revenue. So it was identified as a cover song and not the original. So it splits the ad revenue between me and with looks like North Music Group. So sometimes you'll get shared revenue, especially if it's considered a cover. So all these people out here with acoustic guitars and pianos playing their own version of a popular song, they're getting shared ad revenue if they detect any of the original music in there.
Right.
And then other ones are just ineligible, and it'll have a red line through it because it's legit the song.
Yep. So I know we've been talking about this now. Probably it's been about an hour, and I know that we have. Lisa Love. She just unmuted. What's up, Lisa?
Finally got done with this training today. This is driving me crazy. But I liked all the points that you brought up about them, charging extra fees in like Zoom or whatever to help pay for licensing, because they could actually, it would actually, if they thought about it and tried to do it, it seems like it would work, because there's so many DJs that plays music, because ultimately the money is going to the BMI and all that, the record labels that the companies that monitor the songs. So if it would be if they charge us monthly, it would be no difference than if each DJ would pay for a licensing, because it would kind of cover it in the long run. It would cover the licensing. Maybe if they did it for areas they have DJs, might be DJs in an area like New York, and they see all the people that's playing music and they're charging for it, it will cover the licensing for the New York State or Northeast region, or however they do it. You know what I mean? But they could get the bottom line is getting money to the artists and the record companies for their product, and like Big Body said, that's the bottom line is, and we all have to understand that the record label and the artist, they have to be paid. That's the bottom line. And if people, the big people that's in charge of all of this stuff can figure out a way that they could charge DJs for paying content, and it would ultimately cover fees. However, like on Mixcloud, they charge us that fee, and it covers us playing it. Those artists get paid, and the artists ain't getting paid a lot off of each song. So it should, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see why. I don't know. I don't know why they're not, and they might be. Like, this is something that might come down the line, and we're coming up with pretty good ideas and stuff. And I'm hoping other DJs and other people are brainstorming and having ideas, and those ideas where DJs are a part of those big corporate companies that are in charge of all of this. Maybe it's, hopefully they're getting those ideas into their brain and making this stuff happen. Because if you stop the DJ from playing their stuff, then you stopping the DJ. And the radio stations that's, radio stations for the most part are online and stuff, but that's so limited to everything that DJs do on their own radio stations, on the internet radio stations, when they go live and all that stuff. It really gives the artists a lot more exposure than just a radio station. So I'm hoping that, keeping in mind everything Big Body said, what you said, what I said, what Carlos said, that and what Swerve, what we all said, and everybody's thinking like that, and they come up with a solution, because you don't want to stop the DJ, because if you stop the DJ, then DJ gonna stop buying music, and then that's a whole nother problem. Then just gonna be them people that's stealing music, like the listeners that's just downloading music, and we actually buy the songs. DJs actually purchasing songs. We're in record pools. We're buying it. We're servicing all those record places that sell songs we can't find, like Amazon and iTunes and stuff like that. So they don't want to try to do that to DJs, because DJs are powerful, and eventually they might find out when they start doing all this nonsense to the DJs. They're gonna find out just how powerful DJs are.
Yeah. No.
I was holding all that in. While I was watching this daggone in this daggone live training. I was holding it. I was like, I need this.
It's all good. We appreciate that contribution. Definitely makes sense. And this is something. This right here is food for thought. Go ahead. What's up, I-95? Okay, this is.
No, I'm good.
This one here is food for thought. Joe Storm, did you have anything?
No.
Okay. This is food for thought. Mixcloud came up with this thing saying Mixcloud Live, and each DJ would pay $15. Now, on average, an artist only receives like 7 cents for each stream, for each airtime play, whatever it may be. So each DJ, and there's thousands right now, if not tens of thousands of DJs on Mixcloud right now, and they charge us $15. Each month that we pay $15, we cover 214 streams, artist streams. That's what we cover with that $15. So just imagine all the revenue that's going there. Of course, Mixcloud takes their part. So we don't, I don't know what that cut is. And I think I need to look and see how much they actually give towards how much they put in the pot for paying the artist. But if they took, for example, that whole 15, that's 214 streams. Basically 214 songs that you play that artists get paid. And with all the thousands and thousands of DJs, hopefully that will help these artists with their revenue, help these publishing companies and these record labels, and also be a catalyst to several other services, looking at what this is doing and what this is building. It's kind of like the whole weed industry, back way back when they was like, the weed industry ain't doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, in what was that, in Colorado did it. And within 1 year, they had a revenue over $2 billion.
They had to pay back the people because they overtaxed them.
Yeah, so you get what I'm saying. So and now you got other states that are doing the same thing, because they recognize that revenue. So hopefully the same thing will happen with what people watching Mixcloud Live and what they're doing, and that will then become a standard for us, and we'll be able to have some ground to where we know that when we log on or when we stream, that we're doing two things. Number one, the first thing and the most important thing is we are getting the artists paid and getting their music out there again. Because like in my case, I play a lot of old school music that people hadn't heard since maybe they were kids. But just being able to bring that back and bring back that memory, and at the same time get that artist, if they're still around or their estate, get them paid, that's a plus. And then the other part is that therapeutic part that I spoke about, that we as DJs, it's our job to supply that service of therapy, to individuals who listen to our music, whether it takes them back to their old school days, takes them back to their, childhood days, takes them back to their first kiss, whatever it is. Those are the type of things that we provide. And that's just a small piece of the pie, but just in doing those two things there alone, I know there's several others. This could be a great thing if we could get some footing on it, so at this point, what we can do is just see how everything is going to be and how it works.
I got one statement to make. I think what really needs to happen, I think that all of the DJs of not just the United States, everywhere, if every DJ come together in strong numbers, and I mean heavy numbers, and they actually go and lobby, for this because at the end of the day, people got to realize one thing. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and all the different social medias, these are free platforms. When you sign up for an account, you basically signing away that content that you're posting. so that they can make any rule that they want because you're not paying nothing. They own everything. So instead of people complaining, saying, well, I'm getting taken down, or we can't do this, or we can't do that, go do something about it. Get people together in numbers. Do a petition. You know, I guarantee if you had 1 million plus people, DJs, 1 million, not a couple 100,000, 1 million, and they actually had, you know, a valid argument, then you will see change. Until then, we are a small fraction. You know, we are great because, you know, we are a part of music, but to the mass public, only about that, well, that much. You know, if you look at needles, you think about Shure when they got rid of the needle division. It was because it was about that small, because they make microphones. If you know, anything that they look at where it's not numbers or like what Carlos was saying yesterday, or advertisement revenue, it doesn't mean nothing. So, you know, instead of DJs crying saying, oh, they take me down, you don't own nothing. Even if you can belong to 1 billion record pools, that's not your music. So get your petitions together, go out and rally, get some DJs to come together and come in mass numbers, because that makes sense. Not complaining, not writing a silly post on Facebook talking about how angry you are. Action and numbers make sense. That's all I got to say about that.
That's all you got to say?
God damn, he said a lot.
You sure that's all you got to say, Joe?
Yo.
Hey, you got some valid points there, bro. No doubt.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move towards closing this out. But it's been great to really, you know, bring another good show for people to really chime in on. We had Ryan C. He said, good afternoon. We had Big Dooley in the house. And we're hoping that, you know, more people will chime in soon as well. But yeah, it is very, very important that we, you know, we keep talking about this topic. And like Joe said, you know, start acting upon it. You know, if we could get some type of, you know, initiative going, or some type of thing that could possibly get the DJs to band together to, you know, act upon something and force the hands to make change, you know, that would be an awesome thing too. But it takes, you know, what comes along with that is the mindset, you know, so definitely have to do that. So I'm gonna go around the table and then we'll close this thing out. So I think Big Body, she's doing something. So Carlos, what's your last words before we chime out?
Only last words is keep the dance floor, you know, moving, and keep the music going. That's all I'm worried about. So keep people happy, keep doing what I love. If I end up finding a place where I can stream music and not worry about takedowns, I'm all for it. I'm ready to go. Places like the DJ Expo and large DJ events, whoever the organizers are, put it in their ear. It'll make sense to them to be the voice of all the DJs and getting to BMI, ASCAP, all these record labels, and eventually somebody's going to listen and see, hey, there's an opportunity to make more money than they already are making, just so that way we got somewhere we can play. So, you know, taking a lot of good points from Joe. That's just got to get that conversation started with the right people.
Yep. DJ Big Body, any last words before we close?
No.
All right. DJ Lisa Love, any last words before we close?
Nah, we just got to figure out how to keep this music going. You know what I mean? Because music is what's keeping people alive and saving lives and keeping people's heart rates healthy. And you know what I mean? They dance. They use music to dance to. They use music to exercise. They use music just to listen to. They use music to feel better when they're sad. Music is what's keeping the whole world moving and alive. So we got to figure out how we can keep this going so we can keep reaching the masses of people without getting in trouble. You know what I mean? So it's something good gonna happen out of it. You got to, because you can't shut it down. So you know what I mean? Like, I mean, as far as like, you know, everybody and just it be silence and no music nowhere. So it'll be all right. Just keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive. DJ Michael, you got anything?
Yeah, I think it's time that everybody invest in their own website. So that's where you're gonna have to get your followers at. You got create your own website and go live from there. That's the only way we're gonna win.
Yeah, I actually have mine. I have some stuff on there now. But yeah, good point. Good point. DJ I-95.
I agree with what Lisa said and Carlos said. I definitely agree with that. That's it with that one.
Cool. DJ Joe Storm.
Petition. Get your DJs together in your cities and keep the music going. Don't never give up. Just keep putting love in the heart of many people with music. You know, do your due diligence, y'all. That's all I gotta say.
So to wrap this whole thing up, today we have learned that we can't complain about something that we have absolutely no control over. All we can do is make our contribution, and hopefully our contribution will have some sort of impact. If we band together in numbers, we may be able to make some change, some real positive change happen, and incorporate some of your own technologies into your own infrastructures that will actually make things better for you and bring you less headaches and less frustrations. And more importantly, keeping the crowd going, keeping people happy, because music is therapy and you always want them to feel the beat. This is your man, DJ Square Knot. We appreciate the DJ Information Group. We're all in here. We're doing what we do, and we enjoy what we do. We thank you guys for joining us again, and it's just truly been a pleasure here on the DJ Information Group Talk Show. We do this every Wednesday. We try to do it right around about 2 p.m. Take it to 3. Sometimes we go a little bit over, but that's okay. We just want you to come in and join us and rock with us. And on that note, we're going to sign off, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day. So just know that it is all about the music. It's all about the love of music. It's all about having it in your fabric and just knowing that music is global. Music can definitely help your spirit. It can make you feel good. It could take you back and put you in places where you never thought music could take you, because it is just that powerful. Check it out, y'all. Peace out.